Chris, we've talked about mobile several times throughout the interview, and I'd like to get your feedback on, what sort of opportunities do you think are, or maybe verticals you think are worth pursuing for Arab startups in general? I mean, you mentioned a few companies that are doing globally phenomenally well. What do you think are some of the verticals or some opportunities that could Arab entrepreneurs capitalize on?
So what I could do is talk a little bit about the kinds of categories that I've been seeing now, and then again a little bit more about what other places they're going to be to focus it overall. I mean, look, I think there's incredible hay to be made in effectively Arabizing that which has been successful elsewhere. And by the way, to our conversation about the investment ecosystem, it doesn't help. A lot of investors anywhere in the world who are conservative love analogies. I actually get nervous around analogies, but people love them. And your ability to say, I'm the four square of whatever, at least people can get their mind around it. I mean, there's just lots of reasons why that early part of it is going to be very, very profound, tied around Arab language and culture and market and all. I am incredibly moved and excited. So, right, I'm moved sort of spiritually, but I'm excited as an investor of the number of people who are stepping up, sort of forgetting the government's ever going to do it, but effectively just solving problems in the region. I've seen some incredibly innovative businesses about recycling computers, which are now laying fallow in the streets because nobody knows how to get rid of them or strip them or actually make for-profit businesses around them. You know the stories better than I do about people wrestling different aspects of being able to find a taxi cab in Cairo or traffic in Cairo. Some of these video companies in education to either help people complement the education that they're getting right now, or in some cases offer people training that they've never been able to do before. I mean, again, what I'll just call these folks that are looking at problems in society and looking at them as huge opportunities, not only to build effective businesses because so many people need to touch them, but at the same time they think they're moving things forward, I think is very, very powerful. And again, the third category are people who are doing things like in e-commerce. I guess it falls a little bit in the first category, but it's really a thing unto its own that are really, I think, becoming ecosystem builders that success will breed success in terms of the reach and input that they have. And then from there, it's not a far step to people who are thinking global. I mean, I told you about Vimov. I love Hein Hobeika, who won the MIT Enterprise Forum competition, who has created these sports goggles so that you can actually have your heart rate right there in your eye, none of the hassles of things going forward. I mean, that's a Nike should be licensing that thing. I mean, it's not. There's nothing local about that. You'll see more and more in that. You started this conversation talking a little bit about new technologies and mobile. Again, I think it's just a great leapfrog opportunity, and I've talked about a couple of the others. I think sometimes people get too hung up about mobile as a thing, and the fact of the matter is what it really is at its essence is computing capability on your person. And to the degree that people are not sort of hyped up about but are just thinking about human behaviors, what can I do with this thing because it's on my person now that I could never do before, and think about problem solving that way, impact's going to be huge. Okay, it is a computing device, Chris, you're right, but it's a very small screen, so I've got to think about those sensitivities, that's right. But you start thinking about geolocation, you start thinking about those kinds of dynamics around what is fundamentally computing around our person, it's going to be, I think, very exciting. It's already exciting around the world, and there's no reason on earth it's not going to be exciting in places like the Middle East.